Hello and welcome to another segment of Interviews That Matter. I'm your host Raj Mehta. Friends, in this segment we bring those guests who influence our lives. This includes elected officials, policymakers, heads of major organizations and other dignitaries. It is my sincere hope that the knowledge brought in by these guests will help our community. Today we have such guest, Nassau County Executive Ed Mangano, who is running for his second term on November 5th. Let's welcome County Executive Ed Mangano. County Executive, welcome sir, welcome to the show sir.
My pleasure.
And first and foremost, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because you were the inaugural show for me, for this particular show.
My pleasure.
So I really appreciate that. I never can forget that.
Thank you.
First, let's have a 30-second introduction. I know everybody knows you, right? But from your mouth, really.
Well, first, it's certainly an honor to serve as county executive. Prior to being county executive, I served in the Nassau County Legislature for 7 terms, 14 years. Right before getting elected for county executive, I served at the law firm Rifkin Radler for the prior 10 years as an intellectual property attorney. And it was, a very, very nice job. I enjoyed working in the private sector. And with my experience in government for over 14 years, I felt that I had the answers and the solutions for Nassau County, and that's why I ran for county executive. The good people of Nassau County saw fit to elect me. And I think that they like the direction I've taken the county in, and we're going to ask our voters and our residents to return me for another 4 years.
Right, so election is now November 5th.
Correct.
And you're running for second term.
Correct.
And we are, we want to wish you best of luck for that.
Thank you.
Right, yeah. So let's talk about the day you walked in 4 years ago, right? What was the status of the county at that time?
Well, really the county was in shambles. I mean, clearly the prior 10 years, the taxes were raised 42%. Not only did the prior administration raise taxes, they also did a very poor job in creating jobs and opportunities. They left us a $378 million deficit, hundreds of million dollars in unaccounted for real property tax claims, and their only solution was an energy tax, a tax on fast food, a toll on the LIE, and another 16% increase in real property taxes. I just thought that was the wrong direction. So when I came into office, I repealed the home energy tax. We're the first administration to put money back in our residents' pockets. I just submitted my 4th consecutive no property tax increase budget, so there's no property tax increase in this budget. There hasn't been since I've been county executive, and I really believe that's the direction that the county needs to go in. We believe personally that high taxes kills jobs and scares businesses out of our borders. And when businesses leave, they take employees with them, they take tax base with them, they take opportunities with them, and that doesn't inure to anyone's benefit. So we went to work with an economic agenda to bring businesses back to Nassau County, as well as support the many struggling businesses that have fought to stay here within our borders, because we believe it is very important to have a robust economy and have job opportunities for our college students and for all those that reside here in Nassau County. So we went to work on that agenda, and that agenda has brought us companies like Haines Celestial. We now have their worldwide headquarters here. We're in a heated competition with New Jersey. They chose, and Haines Celestial chose, Nassau County. I think that's a great message of jobs coming back to our great county. We've worked very, very hard in many sectors, including film and TV, which we've discussed on prior shows, but that film and TV industry is growing leaps and bounds here. Truly, Nassau County is now a Hollywood East. We have more filming days collectively than 4 of the 5 boroughs put together. And an independent economic report just recently released indicated that the film industry that I established on the former Grumman property generated over $140 million of economic activity and thousands of jobs, from carpenters to electricians to artisans, sculptors, painters, all find an ability to work, in the movie industry right here in Nassau County. And as you know, in addition to that, Homeland Security, another sector, healthcare, a big sector, growing sector here, and we continue to concentrate on building our high-tech and biotech infrastructure here in the county.
So how did you manage to hold the tax for 4 consecutive years?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
that's the key.
A lot of
for
tough
us.
choices. A lot of tough choices that had to take on the special interests, but we put our people first, and we did what we think is necessary to right the fiscal ship here in Nassau County. One of the toughest things is we reduced the workforce by 20%. Nassau County now has 20% less workers than our neighbors, our neighboring counties, but at the same time, we're delivering the services our residents come to expect. We did that by eliminating duplicative administration and waste. We cut that out. We cut $400 million of wasteful spending out of the budget. So we really streamlined it. Most of the concepts and techniques and necessities were what you would do in your own business, so you can keep the company alive and keep it delivering its services. Well, much like that in government, we needed to right our fiscal ship, and we made those tough decisions, and now we stand here today a much stronger county on our road to fiscal recovery. And we want to keep on that path. And our path took us in this direction without asking the taxpayers for any more dollars. Mm-hmm. And all of our economic policies have really resulted in great statistics. Right now, Nassau County has the lowest unemployment rate in the region, the highest job growth rate in the region, and the largest growth in sales tax revenue, meaning more people are spending more dollars in Nassau County than ever before.
Wow, okay, that's good. So, what is your vision?
My vision for the next 4 years has already taken root, as I just completed a public-private partnership to create a world-class arena on the former Coliseum,
right,
at the Coliseum. As you know, Raj, this project has languished for well over a decade. Mm-hmm. There's been no ability to bring people together to create a project. And now I'm happy that I formed a public-private partnership with Bruce Ratner, Forest City Ratners, those that operate the Barclays, mm-hmm. to make a 100% privately financed $229 million investment in the arena and creating an entertainment district at the hub. And this is great news for residents, because this will allow the continued economic prosperity that we have from the existing arena to build and continue, rather than to shut down and darken. So it's a very important project. The vision is that we have a world-class sports entertainment arena, an entertainment district, and then with the land that is freed up by the way that we're moving forward, we are looking and exploring the ability to create a real biotech, high-tech center there to continue to create jobs for this generation and future generations. So that is our vision, to make Nassau County the strongest economic center, make Nassau County affordable for all, and end the cycle of asking taxpayers to fund every governmental problem under the sun. And we believe that has resulted in a much better economic climate, much more opportunities for our youngsters and our graduating college students, and much more opportunity for our residents to continue employment here and live here.
So, young people, for them being here, need some kind of affordability, like a smaller house, things like that. So do you have any vision to increase that? Because Nassau County is mostly single-family houses.
Right. So what we did, we took a survey of the vacant, empty office space here in the county. We found that there is an extreme amount of empty, vacant office space. So we came up with a program to create an incentive for those landowners to convert those empty eyesores into apartments. And I'm proud to say that we have now 4 buildings that have signed on to the program. They'll create over 850 apartments just in those 4, and we've had other housing opportunities that we achieve, so well over 1,000 apartments. But the fact of the matter is, we're taking these vacant, empty eyesores, we're converting them to apartments. Each one of them has an affordability component, part of it, and this is going to provide our youngsters an opportunity to live in an apartment. This seems to be a desired path for our young people. Before they jump into a home, they want to live in an apartment. They clearly want to live in Nassau County, and now we've provided 1,000 opportunities to do that.
Right. Now, obviously taxes are still very high in Nassau County, and you have managed to hold 4 years, which is very good.
Yes.
We haven't seen any increase in, but property tax is probably, what, 18-19% of the whole?
Well, property taxes, Nassau County, before I took office, was the highest in the nation.
Oh,
We're no longer highest in the nation, but you have to do exactly what we're doing here in Nassau County, is you have to rein in spending. You have to look at your operation constantly to avoid duplication and duplicate efforts. And as you know, the bigger the enterprise, this tends to pop back up. So it's a constant job to do that, and we do that regularly in our great county to keep it efficient. You got to keep that engine running efficiently, and that's the real answer to keep costs down. We've been very aggressive with joint purchasing councils and working together with other municipalities to decrease costs through increased purchasing power, and we've achieved success from everything from buying paper to buying energy. We're saving our taxpayers' dollars each and every day. But that's what it takes. We try to, and we make our efforts and our techniques available to school districts, water districts, fire districts, who have all signed on, many have signed on, to our joint purchasing council to save dollars for their budgets so they don't have to look to the taxpayer.
School taxes, right? Obviously,
Excuse me.
What it is said that in New York City there are all the schools, there's only one administration for the whole county. And here in Nassau County we have 56 probably, 62 school districts.
Yes, well, obviously, school districts are held near and dear to the communities that are lived in. The county really doesn't have a jurisdiction in them other than we encourage the school districts to participate in our purchasing power and other public safety programs. But, with the focus on school districts, really they're the most localized body to influence because the school board members are people right from the community. They're small communities. And we encourage our residents, get involved then if you don't like the way something's going or you think you have a better idea. It's easy to get involved on the school district level and look for those, efficiencies. Clearly Long Islanders love their individual school districts. If you look back in the past, there's been very little merges. People have fought merges because they've created identity with their school district and their community. They like, their teachers and they get comfortable with the sporting programs and there's pride. So there's a lot to it to reduce it. It's really become the culture here in the county and very much part of our quality of life. But with that said, there are always ways to become more efficient, and school districts, just like other municipalities, must participate in that and must recognize that we have to keep a vibrant economy here. We have to keep our housing at a level that's affordable, and in order to do that, you have to rein in taxes.
You can't keep just giving, right?
You really can't. Raj,
so
it's a formula that really doesn't work because to keep on giving, someone needs to keep on paying, and if you stymie the effort of those to bring money to our economy, obviously it's a house of cards. It's going to collapse at some point.
Exactly, right, yeah. Now, in Nassau Coliseum, you mentioned there is no taxpayer dollar involved in there, right?
That's
it's
correct.
a public-private partnership. How does it, it's going to create more jobs for the people of
Yes.
Nassau County. How does it benefit the Radnor people? Or like what
So
is
here's
their-
what we have.
Yeah.
We have a public-private partnership
Right.
now where they will not only renovate the arena, but they also operate it.
Okay.
Nassau County will receive 8% of the gross revenue or a floor or a minimum payment of $4.4 million per year. But in addition to that positive cash flow of the 4.4 or 8% of the gross revenue, which climbs 10% every 5 years, we are shedding all of the historical expenses that our taxpayers have been paying for the last 40 years. For instance, right now taxpayers pay the entire electric bill, the entire utility bill. That's over $2 million a year. Taxpayers pay for all the capital improvements, seats, scoreboards, parking lots. We will no longer have to fund those projects, and we will no longer have to insure the Coliseum. The operator will be responsible for insurance. So by shedding all of those costs, we shed about $4 million worth of costs. We pick up $4.4 million in revenue. You have a world-class arena and an entertainment district that's going to generate sales taxes for government to continue to run, but at the same time create a myriad of quality of life choices from themed restaurants to smaller shows. So it really is a great winning formula. But the real impact of the people that it attracts and the tourism that it attracts generates economic activity.
Right.
So for instance, right now the Coliseum, with about 110 dates, it's open about 110 dates a year, generates collectively about $230 million in our economy. And that's a big number.
Yes.
With the new Coliseum, we expect that it will be able to double that. Their projections believe they increase that economic activity to close to $500 million a year. So it's important economic activity. You want people to have a reason to spend their dollars in our county, and this gives them a very good reason. So you can see the importance of having a plan that continues the operation of the Coliseum as it generates $230 million in the economy right now. If there was any delay or gap, it would close.
Right.
And with that, you lose that economic activity, and that's hard to make up.
So obviously, that's a win-win for everybody then.
Correct.
Right? And also the tourism will increase because New York City, we are right next to New York City, and we are not taking advantage of it actually.
Yes. This will give an opportunity, as I said, to build our tourism base, which, by the way, has been building since I became county executive with the many public programs that we have now. I'm a car enthusiast, and sometimes people poke fun of this, but we started this car show 4 years ago, and this weekend we'll have our fourth consecutive car show. I mean, we have people traveling from beyond 6 states now to be here. We have people staying in our hotels to become, as spectators. This generates economic activity. It brings people into our county to spend dollars here and leave them here. So they're important. We've had many other activities in the county that's generated tourism, from cultural events to concerts to sporting events right here in the county, when we're building on that.
We'll take a short break and we'll be back.
Sure, thank you.
Stay with us. Welcome back to Interviews That Matter. I'm your host Raj Mehta. We are having a conversation with County Executive Edward Mangano, Nassau County Executive, who is running for his second term on November 5th. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Great to be back.
So let's talk about the efficiency in the county government, that you have been able to increase the efficiency by reducing the staff. And normally, in a government, private sector can do that, but government, it's not easy to do.
It's not easy to do, but it was very necessary. And the fact of the matter is, we did it in a thoughtful way by trying to eliminate just duplicative administrative work, try to spread the work flow so it's more evenly distributed. It is a tough thing to do with the culture of the county and the way it had grown, but we worked hard to do it, and we have very enthusiastic now and hardworking county employees delivering services with a lot less people. Again, you have to go in, you have to look at what you're doing, look at the type of administration you have attached to that, and in most of the cases, that's where we eliminated. We eliminated duplicative administration, and of course, that creates reoccurring savings for our residents. And everybody does work harder. There's no doubt about that, but that's what's going on in the private sector as well. You find people working longer hours and harder to support their families, and our administrators now in the county really work a schedule very similar to what the public sector does every day, and the private sector does every day. You work hard until you achieve your accomplishment, and then you move on and start another day, right?
Yeah, so county got a award for government.
Yeah, we were recognized by New York State, received the highest award for the New York State Efficiency Grant that came with $5 million, which was a nice prize, right?
Not bad.
Not just a ribbon, but you get $5 million to help continue the efficiency efforts. So that just bears out that the practices that we're putting in place are working, and other municipalities are recognizing it, and really other municipalities are doing now and trying to perform, similar programs as we did. As you know, Raj, I can give you a few examples. In our jail, we established inmate health care. Before I took office, if a prisoner took ill, stomach ache, headache, or needed an X-ray, he or she would have to be transported to a hospital or clinic and be accompanied by 2 correction officers who would have to stay with that prisoner the entire time, oftentimes on collecting huge overtime, running up the overtime bill. Now we established a clinic in the jail. That clinic in the jail does everything from X-rays to dialysis now. We are saving the taxpayers over $7 million a year. $7 million a year just with that public-private partnership. You know, as you know, we had to institute a public-private partnership for our buses. Nassau County owns the buses. The MTA used to operate them until they came to my office and really demanded $30 million more to operate our bus system or cut the routes in half. Now, one, giving $30 million more wasn't in the interest of our taxpayers. They didn't have that money. And cutting the routes in half was not in the interest of our riders because that would make it difficult for them to get to work. So we came up with a new solution. We have a private operator operating our bus company, saves $30 million a year. These are some of the techniques that we're using to continue to deliver services, make improvements in our county without asking our taxpayers for more money.
That's, everybody likes that.
Yes, they do. They
good.
do. They
That's
appreciate
good,
it. The residents, we had great feedback, great understanding, that people understand that, look, we have a great quality of life here. We want to keep that quality of life up, but at the same time, you cannot make it so expensive that the average person can't afford that quality of life. You know, a part of the equation for quality of life is access. Our citizens need access to that quality of life, and to enjoy that, it's our responsibility to make sure that it's affordable, you know, that it's reasonable. And that's what we're doing here in Nassau County. We've worked hard. Our crime is down 10%, and our parks never looked better. We received such great comments on them. We were able to build new twin indoor ice skating rinks at no cost to the taxpayer. You know, we have worked hard to move our county forward without asking our taxpayers to foot the bill.
Wow, everything comes from leadership. So, you know, your leadership certainly has worked for the taxpayers anyway.
Thank you very much.
Right, yeah. Let's talk about emergency management. Like, we had a terrible storm last year, Sandy, and you know, the predictions are that we may have more of Sandys like that.
Yes.
And we don't want it, but you know.
We do not want it.
Global warming and everything is there, so obviously there are chances. Are we prepared for the next storm?
Well, look, when I came into office, Nassau County was thoroughly unprepared. As a matter of fact, the New York State Senate Subcommittee on Homeland Security, in my opponent's second term, graded Nassau County an F. When I came into office, we went to work hard to turn that F into an A. And that investment in our emergency management really shined with our response to Hurricane Sandy. So let me say this. When I came into office, our 911 system was woefully inactive, woefully not prepared. It didn't have enough assets. We had to double the amount of phone lines and consoles in there. We had to make a quick $7 million investment so we could bring that up to where it can handle calls, and we're happy that we did that. We worked very hard on our planning and training processes. And if you look at Hurricane Sandy, a devastating storm, and if you look at natural disasters of that magnitude, now again, this is a 100-year storm, worst storm in 100 years. They're usually measured by death toll. Go anywhere else in the country, a major disaster is measured in death toll. I now have emergency management professionals from across the nation coming to visit me from as far away as Paris, France, to understand how Nassau County, a dense suburban county, survived a 100-year storm, a tidal surge, without loss of life.
Wow.
Think about it. That's because of our planning, our ability to evacuate hospitals, our ability to give our citizens notice to move out of the affected area. It pays testament to our volunteer firefighters, to our police department, to our doctors, to our nurses that train to be prepared and know what to do when the disasters hit. And that's the pride of Nassau County right there. And we continue to work on emergency management. We continue to support it. We look at each and every weather event, what went wrong, what went right, and try to improve that, best practices, and move forward. And now we're making additional adjustments post-Hurricane Sandy. We're waiting for some of these federal dollars to come down that will be utilized to make our county stronger, to withstand a storm of even the magnitude of Hurricane Sandy.
Good. Let's talk about the debt, county debt, right? So, I mean, there's your opponent says that debt has grown so much.
Well, it's an out-and-out lie, and we'd be happy to point you to the audited statements. When my opponent, Tom Suozzi, took office, there was $3 billion worth of debt. He increased debt by $402 billion, audited statement. Since I'm in office, I've reduced his debt by $2 million, and that's in spite of everything else that's gone on here. So we have not asked our people, our residents, for more money or more debt. The normal course of operating government incurs debt, but also retires debt. So, it's really an out-and-out lie and distortion. The fact of the matter is, yes, do we repair our roads and our roadways repaired and they borrow that money, you pay it out over the useful life? Yes, but at the same time, we're paying off the old debt. So we have not increased the debt. That's the easiest thing to say. It really is a misnomer, distortion to say that we did. And the fact of the matter really remains that they're just misleading the public. It's just a terrible thing. Why don't we just debate the facts and they're good enough? Clearly, as you know, no debt can be created in the county without bipartisan support. You need 13 votes of the legislature. So if my opponent's trying to say that his side of the aisle participated in some type of debt creation, I'd like to see it, because it really hasn't not happened. The fact of the matter is that we have not incurred that debt. That I don't even know where he gets those numbers from. But we're happy to give you audited Deloitte true statements that'll show during his 8 years he increased Nassau County's debt by $402 million, and we reduced the debt.
And that's a public record, right?
Public record.
Yeah, so anybody
Have
can
them on our
really,
website.
Yeah,
Anybody can look
see
at
it,
them.
anybody can look at
You know,
it.
there's none of this nonsense. He's trying to say there's $2 billion worth of debt. You can't substantiate it. It's not there. It's not in the audited statements. It doesn't exist.
Wow.
Yeah.
The viewers of our show is from people from South Asia, and
Yes.
I wanted to know your opinion on our community, number one. Second thing, that how can you in your policy?
Well, number one, the South Asian community has been a great partner in my administration. As you know, when I took office, I opened up my administration to all citizens that want to come together to move our county forward, that want to come together to work on solutions, that want to come together to make our county a better place to live, work, and raise a family. And the South Asian community has been a great partner with me. We have many members that work for our administration and partner in our administration, and we have even more members of the South Asian community that donate their time to come and help us in the county, donate their time to raise cultural awareness, to create events that bring people together. So keep doing what you're doing. The South Asian community has really been a fine friend and partner to my administration.
Do you like Indian food?
I like some Indian food. Some I don't, just like I like some Italian and some I don't. But I do enjoy some. I really have I'm growing a real taste for the vegetarian Indian food, and it's really quite delicious.
We are vegetarian.
Yes, you're vegetarian.
From
So I really began eating this. It's really quite enjoyable.
Yes. That's. I mean, I am a part of Vegetarian Vision, which is another organization, and we do promote vegetarian.
That's great.
I mean, it's good for everybody actually.
It's good. It's
Right.
delicious. Everyone should try it.
There you go. Okay.
You get a little healthy in the interim.
Okay. What is your final message? We are coming to an end.
My final message is I hope that you find time to support my re-election efforts by voting for me on row B on November 5th, Tuesday, November 5th. Please come to the polls and cast your vote. I hope I earned your vote. I hope I earned your support, and I would ask you to allow me to continue in this job for another 4 years by voting for me on row B this November 5th.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, comments, you can email me at rajamitv@gmail.com. Again, that's rajamitv@gmail.com. You can watch our prior shows at youtube.com/Infosys International. Again, that's youtube.com/Infosys International. Until next time, have a great week.
Thank you.